Most massively multiplayer online RPGs in recent years have focused excessively on rushing to the level cap to see the real game of raids and PvP. But Black Desert Online is a little different. It's more in the vein of a game like EVE Online, and it brings that sandboxy style to a fantasy setting with some success. Wonky localization, choppy frame rates, and yes, the absence of a definable endgame render the results mixed, but it still manages to establish itself as one of the most fascinating options out there.
So, it was you who lured me here.
Black Desert Online is mainly about interacting with its world and learning the stories of its inhabitants. And that world feels real in a way few other MMORPGs ever achieve. It thrives on other activities besides combat. You can fish, cook, hunt, and farm if that's your thing. Or you can establish a network of workers to travel between towns to trade for you. Each activity feels well thought out, and many quests reward you with special currency instead of traditional XP. And few MMOs make wandering through their worlds as enjoyable. There's no fast travel here, but long journeys avoid monotony by means of little tasks like keeping your horse fed. It gives you reasons to move around too. Storage spaces are local, for example, and that means you have to go back to your preferred bank to pick gear up. This travel time rarely feels intrusive or unrewarding though, in part because there's no drive to rush to endgame. This is an MMO you can play at your own pace. While enjoyable, the main complication with this approach is that outside of combat, Black Desert Online does a poor job of explaining its many activities. That leads to many immersion-breaking trips to forums just to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. That's a shame, because the world itself is beautiful. Most zones look like something you might find in the Tuscan countryside. As you'd expect, this beauty is demanding at max settings. Even my GTX 980 had trouble with it. The uneasy relationship between Black Desert Online and its good looks even extends to its character creator, which certainly offers some impressive customization options, but only if you work within the confines of its 7 classes. They're all gender-locked, and the visual gear options for each are severely limited. As a result, you'll still end up looking almost exactly like everyone else in your class from a distance. Combat itself is certainly fun, both on the ground and on mounts. Regardless of class, it delivers an action experience few other MMOs can match. Even so, as in so many other Korean-made MMOs, battle eventually devolves into a grind. What kept me going was the huge XP bonus for participating in a big group of other players churning through hordes of enemies, resulting in fairly speedy leveling if you focus exclusively on combat. But again, there's no reason to rush to max level, and at this point you're in for a disappointment if you do. It's a design that makes Black Desert Online's longevity an iffy prospect, even with its wealth of other activities. There are no raids or dungeons to speak of, and its core in-game focus of battling with other guilds over regions of land is still a couple of weeks off. Even then, its appeal mainly rests on whether you find PvP fun or not. Black Desert also offers a cash shop with some attractive, but wildly overpriced options, such as alternate cosmetic outfits for your characters and pets that run around and loot dead enemies for you. There's also an annoying dye system that consumes dyes after single use, which makes experimenting with colors a risky endeavor at best. The silver lining is a loyalty system that allows frequent players to buy items like XP boosts with points they accumulate from logging in. Black Desert Online is certainly one of the most unique fantasy MMOs out there right now, and it offers a beautiful world that's also generally believable and enjoyable. Even with shortcomings like grindy combat and a weak endgame, it still manages to deliver many dozens of hours of fun. For more on Black Desert Online, stay tuned to IGN.